This is an Asus VivoBook. It's very reflective, but there is Asus VivoBook. Now, this laptop, I bought it for £294, right? Which you might think, oh, it's a pretty bad laptop. It has to be for that low of a price. I mean, not completely wrong. I mean, if I flip the back here, it has some dents, scuffs and scratches. You know, there's another dent, scratches along here. But that's not the focus of today's video. I want to show you the true value of what I have bought from this thing. If I open it up here, there it is. You see that sticker? That means it has some gaming performance. And that's not all. This also has a OLED screen. I'm not joking, it has an OLED screen. Let me turn it on and show you just how beautiful this thing looks. It also has a fingerprint scanner. My fingers are very sweaty today. There you go. Now we're into the desktop. As you can see, a very nice macOS High Sierra wallpaper. I think that's what it's called. I forgot. Look when I put up the brightness. Oh my god, it's so much brighter on camera than it is in real life. But just look at that. For £294, it's just insane value for the price. Right, an OLED screen, and I'm going to show you guys the specs now because I've been keeping that a secret. With, get this, Intel i7, right? With one small issue, it's not a very good i7. It only has 4 cores and 8 threads for some reason. Don't know why, but it has the same clock, I think, as a regular laptop i7. So it is pretty fast, just can't do a lot of multitasking. 16 gigabytes of RAM. There you go. And last but not least, an RTX 3050 in this laptop. I'm not even joking. The value on this is insane. Sadly, it is only the 4GB model and not the 6GB model, which is unfortunate. But you can't complain at £294. You can't complain. That is amazing value. You could spend £294 on, I don't know, a lunch, probably a steak dinner or something at a fancy restaurant. But no, you can get an RTX 3050 laptop with an OLED screen. Like, obviously there's some trade-offs, like some scratches here, like I showed before, and and also on the lid here. And scratches on there, which don't show up on camera, but you can see them in real life pretty obviously. Right, I've got the laptop plugged in. I'm also going to use this mouse that I have, a very nice Attack Shark X11 SE. Got it for £21. Very good value, might I add. Plug it in. Put this back in now. Oh my, there we go. Yeah, it's only got 256 gigabytes of storage, which is very unfortunate. But, I mean, even then, £294 is still not, you still cannot complain at that value, if I'm honest. Right, now, first game I'd like to start off with is Mice and Macaw. Now, this game is very poorly optimized. Is absolutely, it's just a dumpster fire. Okay, it just sucks on 4-core CPUs, which is unfortunate. You know, I'm running the game right now at 1200p. Right now we have Mice and Macaw running. I'm just going to show you how sad this is. Right, I'm just going to show you how pitiful the performance is in this game. Right, I've enabled MSI Afterburner. Should be showing the FPS there and the temperatures. Well, you can clearly see that, let me move here, that, well, the game isn't really using a lot of the CPU. So we're getting about 33 FPS, which is not good at all. However, just look at these colors. Just look, it's so vibrant. Look at the car, look at the Satsuma. It's so bright for whatever reason. I honestly don't know why. Start the car up. Right. Put on the seatbelt. Like, because the Satsuma is very draining on FPS. So, it makes sense to drive it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of input lag. Yeah, that is a big problem if I'm honest. That's a lot of input lag. But still, it is perfectly fine. Just let me turn down this. Crap. Yeah, look, I mean, even though there's a lot of latency and input lag, I'd say, I mean, looking at the FPS, it is very stable though. It's not like jumping around. So, I'd say that's a win, even though we're only getting 30 FPS. But I'm not blaming the laptop for that. I'm just blaming my summer car being absolutely terrible at using resources and being poorly optimized. On to the next game. Right, now we have Minecraft with shaders running at 1050p. Now if you're wondering why I'm running at these weird resolutions, because the screen on this is 2400p, which is a 16 by 10 resolution. So yeah, but just look at this. I'm running with shaders because, well, obviously any computer can run Minecraft. Right, we all know that Minecraft runs on everything. But look at this, with these shaders, still getting about 50 FPS. It's perfectly smooth and playable. Right, we have 100% GPU utilization. The temps aren't that bad considering it's a laptop. I mean, 76 degrees on the GPU and about 70 to 80 on the CPU. Sometimes it climbs up more than that, but it's perfectly fine and playable. Like, and when it rains, it's a bit more intensive. Well, this is a survival mode, so I can't really show, but yeah, I'd say it's perfectly fine. In fact, I'm going to load up a creative mode in a bit and show you guys how this thing fares up when there's rain and more intensive effect. Right, I'm in a creative mode now, as you can see here. What I will do now is let's do thunder. As you can see, should start thundering now. Starting out with we're dropping quite a bit of FPS now. We're down to the mid 40s and high 40s, but even then it's still very playable, and I'm not complaining because this is a 60 Hz screen, so it's not that bad. The only issue with this is I feel like the specs heavily bottleneck the 4K screen, so you can never really use 4K, but it looks perfectly fine because this is a 16-inch screen, so the pixel density is very nice. Oh, look at that horizon, man. Look at that sun. Whoa, it actually looks better on camera than it does in real life because of the saturation, but yeah, it just looks amazing. Look at it, it just looks phenomenal. I've honestly never seen a screen that looks as good as this ever in my life. Not even my main monitor screen, which is a 1440p screen, 1440p monitor with 240 Hz. Even that doesn't look as good as this. Look at that. Temps are fine, using about 40 watts. This is a slightly downclocked version of the 3050. Look, well, it's spiking up to the high 80s. I think it just needs a thermal paste, like just some new thermal paste on the CPU, and then it'll be fine. It'll be perfectly fine to use. Look, 78 degrees there, and yeah, it's just phenomenal. I'm gonna try some explosion effects. So shut up. There we go, TNT. Let's just use a bunch of TNT everywhere. See how the CPU fares with a lot of explosions happening. Right, we have our mound of TNT set up. Let's let's ignite it. Oh, whoops. Let's see how it fares. Oh no, I don't have high hopes. Wow, that was actually surprisingly good. I mean, I didn't put a lot of TNT. I think if I put more, it will definitely stress this thing out. But yeah, in fact, let me put more. I'll be back. Right, now we have an even bigger mound of TNT. Let's light it up and see what happens. Oh, okay, we saw quite a bit of an FPS drop. It went down to 30 FPS. But that's actually fine. The CPU is actually holding up really well. And the 16 gigabytes of RAM seems to be enough. So yeah, the CPU, even the CPU, even though it's a 4-core 8-thread, and it's the 11370H, which is not known to be very good. I mean, it keeps up perfectly fine. It's great for the GPU, I would say. And yeah, I mean, for £294, you cannot complain. Obviously, this laptop costs like £2,000 brand new, but I bought it for £294. So I don't have to deal with any of that guilt with bad performance. I don't have to complain. I have basically gaming laptop specs, an OLED 4K screen, and an aluminium build, which that is a lot to ask for from a laptop, but it is perfectly fine for the stuff I do as well. Using it for productivity work as well on Fusion 360 is perfectly fine. On CST Studio is fine as well. So yeah, I would say this is just amazing value for the price I paid. And stay tuned as well, because I will be upgrading the SSD on this and doing a thermal paste repaste. And yeah, just stay tuned. Please subscribe and like this video too. Also subscribe to notifications for when that video does drop. I don't have a very good upload schedule, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you got this far, that is. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, that's it. I'm out. Oh, also, post recording. If you're asking why my task, or if you're not really asking, but if you're thinking why my taskbar looks like the Windows 8 taskbar, it's just from this app called Start All Back. This thing runs Windows 11, so don't worry too much about that. But yeah.